What happens when the king of rock and roll, Elvis Presley, faces the ultimate heartbreak, being ghosted? Imagine the man who had it all, fame, fortune, and charm, left grasping for answers when a mysterious beauty vanished without a trace. You won't believe the extraordinary lengths he went to as desperation took hold and emotions ran high. This isn't just a story about love, it's a tale of obsession, intrigue, and one of the most unexpected twists in the life of a legend. Stay tuned, because what unfolded next will leave you speechless. Elvis Presley wasn't just the king of rock and roll, he was a cultural phenomenon who defined an era. His magnetic stage presence, soulful voice, and electrifying performances captivated audiences worldwide, earning him a legacy that transcends time. Yet behind the fame and the music, Elvis was a man of deep emotions, passion, and vulnerability, a side that few truly understood. It's this humanity, hidden beneath the glitz and glamour, that makes his untold stories so fascinating. In the summer of 1972, at the height of his stardom, Elvis crossed paths with Linda Thompson, a radiant young woman who had just been crowned Miss Tennessee USA. Their meeting wasn't on the bustling streets or at a glamorous event, but during a private movie screening at the Memphian Theater in Memphis. That evening, the theater was more than a backdrop. It became the stage for a chance encounter that would forever intertwine their lives. Amid the dim glow of the screen, Elvis's gaze locked onto Linda, and in that moment, something extraordinary began. Despite their differences in age and status, their connection was undeniable. Both rooted in Southern traditions, they found themselves drawn together by shared values, cultural ties, and a deep sense of familiarity. It wasn't just about charm or beauty. It was as if they understood each other on a level that transcended words. Their conversation flowed effortlessly, revealing mutual beliefs and a bond that felt as natural as it was immediate. But what happened after that night would take their story to unexpected places, leaving Elvis searching for answers in a way that few could have imagined. That first evening between Elvis Presley and Linda Thompson was nothing short of electric. As the private movie screening unfolded, their conversation deepened, each word drawing them closer together. By the end of the night, Linda handed Elvis her phone number, a gesture that seemed routine but carried a weight neither of them could yet grasp. Just hours later, at the unconventional hour of 4 a.m., Linda's phone rang. On the other end was Elvis himself, his unmistakable voice filled with excitement and urgency. "I just want to let you know how happy I am that we met," he told her, his words tinged with a vulnerability rarely associated with the king of rock and roll. And then, almost like a plea, he added, "Don't disappear on me." It was a moment that hinted at the depth of his emotions and a side of Elvis not often seen by the public, intensely personal and unguarded. The very next day, Elvis invited Linda to Graceland, his iconic home that had become as much a part of his legend as the man himself. Walking through the gates, Linda stepped into Elvis's world, a place brimming with grandeur, yet surprisingly intimate. The day they spent together only solidified the connection they had felt the night before. Elvis introduced Linda to his father, Vernon, an act that underscored just how quickly she had become significant to him. Together they shared stories, laughter, and moments of genuine understanding. In the span of just 24 hours, their bond had grown from an intriguing spark to something far deeper. But as Linda left Graceland that day, neither could have predicted the events that would unfold next, testing the fragile thread that was beginning to weave their lives together. Just as quickly as their connection had ignited, it was suddenly interrupted. Linda Thompson, filled with excitement about her upcoming plans, left for a 2-week vacation. What she didn't realize at the time was how her casual departure would deeply affect Elvis Presley. In her haste, Linda hadn't thought to leave him any way to contact her, not a number, not an address, not even a note. To her, it was a simple oversight. But to Elvis, it felt like she had vanished into thin air. The days stretched on, and her absence began to weigh heavily on him. the king of rock and roll, a man adored by millions, found himself consumed by an unexpected and unsettling emotion: worry. As the days turned into weeks, Elvis's frustration grew. Where could she be? Why hadn't she reached out? His mind raced with questions, and his patience wore thin. Desperate for answers, he enlisted the help of Joe Esposito, his close friend and road manager. Joe began calling Linda's home, searching for any clue about her whereabouts. The once carefree king was now a man determined to track down the woman who had captured his heart. When the phone finally connected, the message was clear. Elvis wanted to see her, and he wasn't willing to let this connection slip away. But what exactly had driven him to such lengths, and how would Linda respond when she learned of the effort he made to find her? The answers were just as surprising as the search itself. When Linda Thompson returned from her 2-week vacation, she was met with a surprise she couldn't have anticipated. Elvis Presley, the king of rock and roll himself, eager to reunite. Far from cooling off during her absence, Elvis's feelings seemed to have intensified. His road manager, Joe Esposito, called her with a simple yet unmistakable message. Elvis wanted to see her immediately. Linda could hardly believe the lengths to which he had gone to find her, and though she was flattered, she also sensed the urgency behind his request. It wasn't just about picking up where they left off. There was a deeper need driving Elvis, one that hinted at the complexities of his emotions. Not long after their reunion, Elvis invited Linda to join him in Las Vegas, a city synonymous with glamour and indulgence. The invitation came with an air of spontaneity and excitement. "Just pack a toothbrush," Elvis said, as if the details were irrelevant. When Linda arrived, she discovered that Elvis had reserved just one hotel room for the two of them, a bold move that spoke volumes. Yet, despite the implication, he remained a gentleman, showing a side of himself that was both respectful and endearing. It was during this trip that Linda began to understand the depth of his charm and the complexities of his character, both of which drew her closer to him. However, their relationship was anything but simple. Elvis's jealousy and possessiveness quickly became apparent, adding layers of tension to their growing bond. At first, his intense focus on Linda felt flattering, but over time, it became a defining feature of their dynamic. While he demanded loyalty and adoration from her, Elvis's own fidelity was far more complicated. Linda would come to learn about the other women in his life, a revelation that was as painful as it was inevitable. Yet despite the challenges, their connection remained undeniable. Linda often found herself torn between the man she loved and the reality of his flaws. Their relationship, though turbulent, was marked by moments of genuine affection and understanding that made it impossible to walk away easily. But how long could their bond withstand the pressures of jealousy, fame, and heartbreak? That, too, is a story filled with unexpected twists. Elvis Presley's jealousy was as legendary as his charm, a trait that often surfaced in surprising and intense ways. One memorable moment occurred in 1976, while the couple was sitting together in his hospital room, watching the Olympics. As Bruce Jenner crossed the finish line, Linda casually remarked, "Wow, look at that guy. I'd like to marry that guy." The comment, innocent as it was, sparked an immediate reaction from Elvis. Without missing a beat, he replied, "Over my dead body." The possessiveness in his words revealed just how deeply he struggled with sharing even the smallest piece of Linda's admiration with anyone else, even a distant public figure. This insecurity extended into conversations about her past. Elvis had a strict, almost obsessive rule. He didn't want to hear anything about Linda's previous relationships. The mere mention of an ex-boyfriend or a passing comment about someone she once admired was enough to make him visibly uneasy. For a man adored by millions, his need to shield himself from the thought of competition seemed almost paradoxical. Yet, for all his jealousy, Elvis was deeply affectionate and protective, especially in the early days of their relationship. Linda later recounted that he was faithful to her during the first year, a commitment that set a strong foundation for their bond. But as time went on, rumors of his affairs began to surface, testing their connection. Despite the pain these revelations caused, Linda often justified staying, convinced that Elvis's heart remained loyal to her, even when his actions didn't always align. It was this complex mix of love, jealousy, and imperfection that made their relationship as magnetic as it was turbulent. Elvis Presley's romantic life was as intricate and passionate as the man himself, a whirlwind of deep emotions, intense devotion, and undeniable flaws. His relationships were marked by moments of incredible love and connection, but also by the challenges of jealousy, fame, and human imperfection. It's this complexity that makes his life so fascinating, leaving behind stories that continue to captivate and intrigue fans to this day. If you're as mesmerized by Elvis's untold secrets as we are, you won't want to miss what's coming next. Want to hear more about the King's private life, his triumphs, and his struggles? Subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to stay updated on future videos. And don't forget to like this video and share your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. What part of Elvis's story surprised you the most? Let us know. We love hearing from you.